I hope your son has a disability.
From becoming obsessed with a person a decade younger than her and believing she was in a relationship with them without their knowledge, even going as far as flying out to see them.
What are you gonna do in Florida? I'm gonna go visit my man. That's what I'm gonna do.
To wishing a disability on her closest friend's child, LaurenRose is a rare case study in what deep delusion looks like on social media. Lauren first started making TikTok videos in 2022. While her first TikTok account was eventually banned for unknown reasons, her Instagram shows a more normal and social Lauren who used social media to connect with close friends, some of whom were real-life friends.
I came to Instagram because I got banned for no fucking reason.
But in early 2023, she created a new account that she would soon become infamous for. Her videos mainly consisted of lip syncs, random edits, and occasional rambling. Not long after, she also began making mukbang videos, which garnered decent views and gave her some traction on the platform.
So I'm going to be doing a mukbang on this. So
while this helped her gain some followers, her real momentum came from how bizarre her behavior appeared. Lauren had autism and possibly other mental disabilities as well. Because of this, she often acted in a bizarre way to attract attention on the platform. And that approach seemed to work better than any other type of content she had produced up to that point. To make matters worse, Lauren is also very careless when it comes to her mental health medications, often taking them while drinking heavily and vaping as well.
Lauren. Depression and birth control.
And you took those with liquor?
Yep. Nice.
Realizing the increase in views that this new type of cringe content was bringing her, Lauren doubled down and became even more bizarre with each post. At one point, she even brought up her 50-year-old ex-boyfriend David on her TikToks. Aside from the more than 20-year age gap between them, Lauren was bizarrely trying to find a girlfriend to match him with, all while David sat there clearly uncomfortable with the camera shoved in front of his face.
He's single, looking for a woman, so if anyone's interested, hit him up.
Aside from these cringe TikToks, she was also showing signs of delusion. She would repeatedly and seriously brag about being a 10 and claim that she could get any man she wanted. Under one of her posts, she wrote, "I am 100% a baddie, and I am also living the single life, and I love it. I know I am a 10. She even bragged about having 5 fiancés simultaneously, something that foreshadows her later behavior. And while some of these men might have been catfish, Lauren has actually dated multiple men throughout her life. However, she is as immature as it gets, often referring to these men as her fiancés without them ever proposing to her, and then posting videos claiming she is engaged.
Hey guys.
Hey guys.
So, we want to make an announcement. So, me and Antoine are now engaged. Aren't we, babe?
Mm-hmm.
Last night. Now, no, he did not propose.
No.
And the comment section did not let this slip by, with one person saying, "He doesn't have a clue what's going on." Another commenter mocked Lauren, saying, "My husband and I are married. One day I am going to tell him." Lauren is also notorious for having terrible interactions with her partners after breaking up with them, which led to her first major controversy online. Around the same time she was gaining more followers on TikTok in late 2023, Lauren was in a relationship with a black man, whom she later broke up with. But instead of letting it go peacefully, or at least confronting the person privately, Lauren did the exact opposite and brought the entire situation to TikTok. She began speaking badly about him and even went as far as saying she wished she were black so that she could insult him by using the N-word.
I would love to say that word to his right now if I was black. If I was black, I would so say the word.
Unsurprisingly, this brought a massive backlash from the internet. At one point, a person even confronted her during a TikTok livestream, to which Lauren attempted to excuse her behavior by pointing out that she had dated a black boyfriend, even though she was being accused of directing racist remarks toward him.
You said today?
Yeah, because my boyfriend
I don't give a if your boyfriend is black and told you you could say the word.
While this incident brought widespread backlash online, Lauren has had even worse moments on the internet that never went as viral as this one. For example, Lauren once said the N-word during a live stream with a group of her friends. This happened despite the fact that she had earlier condemned one of her friends for referring to her ex-boyfriend with a slur in an attempt to insult him. And when her friends on the stream condemned her for saying the slur, Lauren tried to blame it on being drunk at the time, even though she continued talking on the live stream for nearly an hour after that moment. comment. Despite her excuses, accusations of racism have become closely associated with Lauren's name. Whenever people discuss her online, her racist remarks are often brought up, with one Reddit post even describing her by saying she drops lots of slurs. Lauren would later make a statement defending herself, saying, "Just because I said the N-word 7 months ago and last year doesn't make me racist. I love black people, and how could I be friends with, date, or even hype up a black person if I were racist? You all are just mad that I am thriving and you are not." Given the way she framed it around her own success compared to those accusing her, people did not take her defense seriously, which did nothing to counter the accusations of racism. Not only that, but more troubling behaviors soon came to light, making Lauren's reputation even worse. And before we go further into the story, I need a small favor from you. I've started posting these deep dives on Spotify as well, so if you prefer listening instead of watching, or you just want to support me, make sure to follow me there. The link to my Spotify is in the description. Lauren had a boyfriend named Antoine who is also black. Just like with her previous relationship, she did not end things peacefully. In fact, she escalated the situation by telling him to be with his own kind. People confronted her about this, but instead of acknowledging her behavior, she ignored them and even went so far as to block anyone who mentioned it. One person who was blocked after confronting her said, "So you blocked me for sticking up for Antoine after that comment you made about him dating his own kind. How would you feel if someone said some stupid thing like that to you? You would be upset and hurt by it. You seriously have to treat people better because you are not going to have anyone left in your circle." While Lauren was already receiving plenty of backlash online, things got much worse once a video surfaced of her wishing a disability on one of her friend Becca's children on TikTok. Before becoming infamous on TikTok, Lauren's content mainly consisted of live streams with her friends, both online and in real life. Among her closest friends, Becca was one of them. Even then, Lauren and Becca's interactions often seemed odd, as Lauren would repeatedly direct cuss words toward Becca during these live streams.
You crazy.
Yeah, you're fucking crazy.
Oh shit.
You're a fucking crazy.
I thought she's your friend. Why would you call your friend that?
Eventually, this escalated into a full-blown conflict. Lauren, along with her equally disturbing mother Jill, began publicly discrediting Becca. The situation worsened to the point where Lauren actually wished a disability on Becca's very young son.
I hope I hope your son has a disability.
The complete irony of this is that Lauren herself has a disability, yet she still wished one on a literal baby. The internet did not let this slide, and she received significant backlash for it. And Becca didn't take this lightly, as she would comment saying, "Let me go call back the Middleton police," implying the potential involvement of authorities for this statement. But even with all the backlash that both Lauren and her mother Jill received, they continued talking about Becca on a daily basis. Jill even claimed in one of her recent videos that she was going to sue Becca for defamation, although it was unclear what defamation she was referring to. Jill went even further by making multiple CPS calls on Becca in a failed attempt to have her parental rights removed, despite having no proof that Becca was mistreating her son. People were understandably outraged by this. One user commented, "Jill admitting to calling CPS to try to get Becca's kid taken away is wild." One of the reasons Lauren and her mother hated Becca was their assumption that she, along with her friend Kayla, another former friend of Lauren's with whom she also has beef, was behind the Lauren Snark page on Reddit. However, Lauren has no proof that Becca created or ran the page, and according to multiple users on Reddit, it was not Becca. One person commented, "Why are they convinced it is Becca and Kayla running the Reddit?" Becca also revealed in a live stream that Laura had let one of her close friends get essayed by her boyfriend, and then continue being with the said boyfriend.
She let her best friend get essayed, and she literally did not give a and continued to sleep with this man.
Although this accusation is not supported by any solid proof, given Lauren's poor dating behavior, it would not be surprising if it were true. While Lauren's behavior was already problematic, it would soon become much worse. As early as 2022, Lauren developed a crush on thirst-trapped TikToker Parker Lanosa, who creates typical TikTok content and is considered one of the platform's top creators with over 1 million followers. She was not shy about her feelings, repeatedly mentioning Parker on both her TikTok and Instagram accounts. At first, her obsession seemed somewhat normal, but it soon escalated into a cringe-worthy fixation. Lauren began to reshape Parker's entire personality through her posts, duetted every new video he made, and laughed at his videos even when there was nothing to laugh at. Lauren's obsession with Parker only grew, reaching the point where she became romantically interested in him and desperate for his attention, all in a very cringe-worthy way. She once posted on her Instagram, "Please, Parker, can you be my boyfriend? I love you so much. I am your biggest fan, and I'm way better than your ex. I would never cheat on you, unlike your ex. I am clean and available. Lauren's obsession grew increasingly disturbing over time, eventually becoming the central theme of her online persona. At first, people only took it jokingly, but eventually Parker's friend heard about it and invited Lauren onto a live stream where Parker was also present. Instead of acting normally, Lauren behaved erratically and desperately, even asking Parker to attend her prom, despite being 30 years old and having graduated high school a decade earlier.
Parker, are you still coming to my prom?
You never texted me about the prom.
Yeah.
Everyone on the livestream, including Parker, was visibly cringed out and laughing at her, though Lauren failed to realize it. Even her comment section pointed it out, with one user writing, "Those aren't the faces of people laughing with you, unfortunately." But Lauren interpreted her brief live stream with Parker as a sign that he wanted to be with her. Soon after, things escalated from a joke to seriously questionable behavior. She changed her TikTok profile picture to a screenshot of their live stream together, and even updated her username to Parker's girlfriend. And this was not some joke either, as Lauren would completely convince herself that she and Parker are in a relationship and that he likes her. This kind of behavior is also called a parasocial relationship, which is a situation where a person believes that another person, mostly celebrities or public figures, is in love with them even though the other person has no idea that this belief exists or that the relationship is imagined. Lauren's delusion would continue to grow even bigger, to the point where she confidently explained to her followers that Parker likes her and that their connection is real. When one person asked her if Parker really likes her, Lauren responded, "Yes, he does. You can tell by the way, if you mention my name, how he starts blushing and smiling." This is a completely made-up story, as Parker had never mentioned Lauren in any of his live streams up until this point. To make matters worse, as Lauren became infamous on TikTok, trolls began interacting with her by creating fake Parker accounts and commenting on her videos, which only further fueled her delusions. In one incident, Lauren went live with one of Parker's real friends, and during this live stream, one of the fake Parker accounts started chatting with her. She then told the person she was live with that Parker himself was in the live stream talking to her.
Parker's here. Parker's in my live right now.
Anna, you know ain't no season over there in Wisconsin.
Parker said I'm back, baby. Yeah.
Parker on your live. Hey, Parker.
However, the guy immediately told her that this was not the real Parker. Instead of considering this or trying to use logic, Lauren insisted that it was the real Parker and claimed that the account was not his main one, but rather a secret account.
The one that's number one.
That's not the real Parker. I know I'm friends with the real Parker. The real Parker. We friends on my twin page, on my twin account. We friends. Like we used to battle each other back in a couple years ago, but he blew up. Me and my twin, we took a break.
It could be a secret account.
I don't know. But I know his official account. We friends on it. We friends on the official account.
Parker, do you remember him? You used to battle with him before.
That's not the real Parker.
In addition to the guy, everyone in the comments was also telling her the same thing. One user wrote, "Sorry, Lauren, but it is not him." Even after all of this, Lauren refused to let go of her delusion. At the end of the live stream, she asked the fake Parker account to give her his phone number so they could talk and eventually date.
Parker, do you want to exchange phone numbers so we can talk?
These trolls also messaged her in DMs and ultimately convinced Lauren to believe that she was in a relationship with the real Parker. Under one of her videos, a viewer asked, "What happened? Did you and Parker break up?" Lauren then replied, insisting that they had not broken up and that she was still dating Parker, showing just how extreme and terrifying her obsession had become. What made Lauren's obsession with Parker even more disturbing was the more than 10-year age gap between them. When she first developed a crush on Parker, he was barely 18 years old while she was 29. On top of that, Lauren added extremely troubling captions under her videos about Parker, including one that read, #10yearsolder. This behavior was met with widespread criticism online, with people commenting on her videos and posts to highlight and call out her clearly predatory behavior.
Hey TikTok, we have a predator alert. LaurenRose, who is 30, has been stalking Parker. Parker is a young man who goes to Oxbridge Academy, which is a 6-12 school.
Lauren also has a parasocial relationship with another thirst-trapped TikToker named Jake Galucio, who has over 600,000 followers on TikTok. Just like with Parker, Jake is significantly younger than Lauren, but she did not seem to care about the age difference. It's a very bizarre display. She appeared on a live stream where Jake and his two friends were present, and asked him to date her.
Becca, I asked Jake if he wanted to go out with me, and he said yes.
Viewers in the comments tried to warn her not to make a fool of herself, saying, "Lauren, don't ask him out, just battle. They are laughing at you. He just doesn't want to be rude." But Lauren took this as proof that Jake was into her, posting multiple times on her social media claiming that she was dating Parker. She even went as far as announcing when they were going to get married, despite the fact that they had never spoken beyond a few minutes on a live stream. Lauren's delusion took an even more horrifying turn when a troll named Samantha, claiming to be Parker's friend, convinced her that Parker wanted to meet her in Florida. Samantha even booked a flight for Lauren, though the tickets were fake, which Lauren failed to realize. Once she announced that she was going to meet Parker, people started warning her that it was a lie, but she refused to listen. In addition to the extreme delusion, choosing to fly was also far more expensive than taking a bus. People in her chat had tried to warn her, but Lauren not only ignored their advice, she became irritated every time she read the comments. On the day the fake flight was supposedly booked, Lauren asked her grandmother to take her to Delta Airport. After reading posts on Lauren's snark page on Reddit and analyzing the situation, her grandmother quickly realized what was happening and tried to tell Lauren that the flight was fake. Lauren refused to listen and instead became aggressive and irritated.
You know that. Don't like. Why do you keep saying that people are making fun of me? I already know that. Okay? Can you stop repeating that?
The chat quickly began criticizing Lauren for being mean to her grandmother, with one viewer saying, "Poor grandma, she is just trying to help you." But this was not the only time Lauren exposed herself for mistreating her own grandmother, who has been nothing but supportive, providing her shelter and driving her around. In one of her live streams, Lauren was heard saying that she wished her grandmother would go to hell, despite there being no prior conflict between them. Upon arriving at the airport, Lauren continued yelling at her grandmother while live streaming on TikTok. After asking the staff at the airport, she was told that the ticket was not legitimate. Instead of accepting what they said, she became angry at the airport staff, claiming that they had intentionally canceled the tickets and insisting that she would not leave the airport unless she was allowed to fly that day.
I'm not flying out tomorrow. Well, you're not doing it today. Yes, I am. How are they not gonna allow it? It is a real ticket.
They don't have record of it. They don't have the number. They don't have the information.
I don't know how they don't have the fucking information.
While all of this was happening, Lauren was also communicating with one of the fake Parker accounts, providing updates about the situation at the airport.
My boyfriend's in here. He's saying what happened. They're saying they don't recognize the fucking ticket or nothing. And they're trying to see it. They want me to come back tomorrow.
After spending nearly half an hour at the airport, a friend of hers named Uncle Boo joined the live stream and tried to explain to her that the airport cannot just cancel her ticket, and that Samantha was lying to her.
They fucking canceled it, see? Samantha just texted me saying they fucking canceled it.
Lauren, would you listen to me, please? No one can cancel your ticket. That is not possible.
But not only was Lauren completely inconsiderate of the facts, she also abruptly cut off Uncle Boo, telling him that she would be right back after talking to Samantha on the phone, even though he was only trying to explain that Samantha was a fake person manipulating her into doing all of this.
Fly internationally every 3 months.
Let me just talk to Samantha. I'll be right back.
Ultimately, Lauren believed what Samantha told her, that the airline had canceled her tickets without any apparent reason, and again she placed all the blame on the airline.
No one can cancel your ticket. She is lying to you.
No, she's not lying. Maybe the Delta people canceled it on accident because they text something about something, and I don't know what it was.
Eventually, Lauren realized that she had been manipulated by Samantha and the fake Parker accounts. She broke down crying, and a few minutes later left the airport visibly frustrated about what had happened.
You're going there? Fine, I'm going with you because I can't go anywhere.
Well, Laura, you are though. You're going to have lunch or dinner.
I'm not going to have dinner at whatever place. I'm going home. That's where I'm fucking going.
Even after all this, instead of taking accountability and admitting her mistakes for not listening to the people who were telling her the truth, she took out her anger on her grandmother, even refusing to wait for her on the way out of the airport. But not only did she lash out at her grandmother, she also got angry at the trolls. While being upset at the trolls was understandable, Lauren took it a step further by contacting the famous reality show Catfish in an attempt to expose the fake Parker who had manipulated her. She was deluded enough to think that the show should pick up her case simply because she reached out to them. The staff of the show, however, refused to get involved, not taking Lauren seriously and expressing concern about her mental health.
Alright, I'm calling Catfish. I'm calling Catfish today.
What does that do?
The Catfish TV show, they'll find out who's behind that fucking account.
Shockingly, even after all of this, Lauren still believes that the fake Parker account is the real Parker, reasoning that he has not shared all the private information she told him online, showing just how deep her delusion goes. If this was not bad enough, Lauren's disturbing behavior gets even worse, as she was exposed for animal abuse. Lauren had a hamster named Duncan around 2022, which she posted about on social media multiple times, often portraying herself as a responsible pet owner. However, the way she actually handled Duncan tells a very different story. Lauren would leave the hamster in its cage all day while she was gone. Not only was leaving the animal in the cage for such long periods of time harmful, but the cage itself was extremely small, making the situation even more unhealthy and unsafe for the hamster. Eventually, after only 3 months of adopting it, Duncan died while still inside the cage, and Lauren was at work at the time. What made this even more baffling is that Lauren went live before even confirming that Duncan had died, talking about it and live streaming the entire situation. Not only that, Lauren also had a dog at one point. One day, while leaving a friend's house, she casually left the dog there and went back to her own home without notifying anyone to take care of the dog, and without any intention of returning to get it. People were outraged by her actions. One person commented, "This is insanely messed up. The fact that she calls herself an animal lover is disgusting. Just leaving your dog outside like that? What the actual F?" And another said, "Oh my gosh, this is so sad. She actually abandoned him in her friend's yard. I thought she at least handed him over, not just left the poor doggy all alone." To add insult to injury, Lauren also had a cat named Katrina, whom she actively abused. In one incident, she threw water on the cat while laughing about it afterward. After this, people began confronting her about her actions to the point where she felt compelled to make a response video. Instead of taking accountability or admitting fault, Lauren did the opposite, claiming that the people calling her out were bullying her and insisting that she had done nothing wrong. Although Lauren's behavior generated significant backlash online, with people labeling her a lolcow and multiple commentary channels creating videos about her, this only fueled her notoriety. More people became intrigued by her rabbit hole of delusion and drama. However, in early 2025, after repeated stalking behaviors and disturbing harassment directed at a male influencer she had a crush on, TikTok eventually banned her main and largest account. This marked the beginning of a decline in Lauren's relevance on the platform. She created multiple new accounts, but none gained traction. Her current main account has yet to reach 1,000 followers, and her videos receive little to no engagement. But instead of backing down and reflecting on her actions, Lauren only grew even more desperate for attention, making a frantic attempt to regain the prominence she once had. While continuing to post about her obsession with Parker, she took it a step further by actively interacting with him in his livestream chat. During one of Parker's live streams, where he was speaking privately with another woman, Lauren commented with highly inappropriate and unsolicited remarks. Not only that, but Lauren also posts very personal and inappropriate things online. In one post she said, "Guys, I am going to math tonight. I am definitely in a nice mood to do it. I watched a romantic movie and had a nice candlelight dinner." But even posts like this failed to bring her the kind of attention she was hoping for. Eventually, a TikToker who once went viral on the platform is now barely getting any attention. But even worse than that, she continues engaging in the same disturbing behavior of stalking people online.